And now we have our pretty hefty Mariners segment that I will try to work through as best I can. And I'll work through that. Bell's got to run. But it's all good news, luckily. There's nothing too negative to look at here. So we'll get into Mariners immediately to try to pound through this. Julio Rodriguez, surprise, surprise, was named an AL Rookie of the Year finalist. The 21-year-old led Major League rookies in homers, BWAR, F4, slugging percentage, OPS, WRC+, total bases, ranking second in runs, third in hits, second in RBIs, second in extra base hits, second in stolen bases. And the list could go on. Overall, he batted at .284 with 84 runs, 25 doubles, 3 triples, 28 homers, 75 RBIs, 25 stolen bases, 40 walks, getting on base at a .345 clip, slugging .509 with an .853 OPS in 132 games. He missed 21 of those with a pair of stints on the 10-day injured list. Julio has already been named the Baseball America Major League Rookie of the Year, the Sporting News American League Rookie of the Year, and the Players' Choice Awards AL Outstanding Rookie in 2022. So it's kind of a foregone conclusion, essentially, what's going to take place. The official award is announced later today. By the time that this episode goes live, that'll already have been announced. We'll have a graphic for that, obviously. I'm kind of going ahead and saying it, but I just kind of doubt it'll be anybody else. No disrespect to Adley Rutschman or Stephen Kwan, but Julio is going to be one of the bright stars of baseball for years to come. He was named to the AL All-Star team, the only rookie All-Star in 2022. He became the third Mariners player age 21 or younger to be named the All-Star, joining Ken Griffey Jr., who did it twice, and Alex Rodriguez, who did it twice. He participated in the MLB Home Run Derby, hitting the most homers total and finishing in second place to Juan Soto. He became the first player with 25 homers and 25 stolen bases in his debut season in MLB history, as well as the fastest to do so, surpassing Mike Trout by 3 games. If Julio were to win this award, he would be the 5th Mariner to win AL Rookie of the Year, joining Alvin Davis back in 1984, Kazuhiro Sasaki in 2000, Ichiro Suzuki in 2001, and Kyle Lewis back in 2020. So after all of those words, if you don't understand how special of a talent Julio Rodriguez is, maybe something else to put it in perspective. Everybody here should know who Ken Griffey Jr. is. Throughout the majority, probably the outright majority of the MLB season at T-Mobile Park, I saw more 44 jerseys than 24 jerseys. I don't need to say much more than that. So also on the awards slate, manager Scott Servais was named in the AL Manager of the Year finalists, and I'm hoping that he finally wins it this year after being in the running last year as well. Servais led the Mariners to 90 wins and a postseason berth this year, finishing the regular season with a 90-win, 72-loss record for the second straight year. 90 wins in both 2021 and 2022. Servais became only the second Mariners manager in club history to lead Seattle to back-to-back 90-win seasons. He joins Lou Piniella, Sweet Lou, who managed the Mariners to 3 consecutive 90-win years in 2000, 2001, and 2002. After the Mariners had a slow start to the season that left the Mariners with a 29-39 record on June 20th, Seattle would go on a 61-33 run over the remainder of the year. That .649 winning percentage was second best in the AL during that span and featured a 14-game win streak, just 1 game shy of the franchise record win streak at 15. From July 2nd through 17th. With Scott Servais at the helm, the Mariners had the knack for winning close games, including the most one-run wins in MLB at 34, 13 walk-off wins tying a franchise record, an 11-5 record in extra innings, which is the best win percentage in the American League, and 40 comeback wins at third in the AL. Through 7 seasons since Scott took over as the manager in 2016, 7, pardon me, Seattle leads Major League Baseball in both one-run wins at 189 and one-run winning percentage at 573. He has compiled 528 managerial wins and 512 winning percentage during that span, both ranking second best in franchise history, only behind Lou Piniella. If he were to win this award, he will join Lou Piniella, who did it in 95 and 2001, as the only other Mariners manager to bring home the award. And I do believe he should win it. The other two managers that were in this contest are Orioles manager, who Brandon Hyde, I believe his name is, and the Tampa Bay Rays manager. So two other teams that didn't make the playoffs. I think it should be Scott. I have to admit, I was on the fence about Scott a few years ago, back in 2020 and 2019. I was like, I don't know if this is the guy that leads you to the postseason. He's proven me wrong. He's got a great respect in this clubhouse, in this locker room. And all of my doubts that I had about Scott are gone. So that's my opinion on that. We look over to some ticketing news. The Mariners announced new value options for the 2023 season. The team announced that beginning next year, fans will have the opportunity to purchase $10 center field bleacher tickets every regular season home game. The announcement doubles down on the commitment to make Mariners baseball more accessible. Also, in addition to this, the J-Rod squad section will stick around all year in celebration of Julio Rodriguez's breakout season. The Mariners are putting a new twist on the popular J-Rod squad seating section, which was introduced last year. The $25 special will include a limited edition J-Rod squad shirt and general admission ticket for any seat in sections 102 through 104. So it's a first come, first serve basis. This general admission section, located directly behind where the AL Rookie of the Year frontrunner plays defense in center field, was created to make socializing easier while creating a unique fan experience. Pre-sale for these single-game tickets begins on November 22nd for the general public. If you are a Mariners Text subscriber and a Mariners season ticket holder, you do get earlier access, as well as those who are actually living in the King County area do get earlier access as well. Another thing that was announced just today, the Pen will be open to the general public all 81 home games. I know this is something that people were upset about throughout the year, that people had rented out the Pen and there was only a few people in there not watching the game. So the Pen will be a little bit more active throughout the entirety of the regular season and the postseason next year. We go to the GM meetings where Jerry Dipoto have some comments about the team. On the 8th, the team was interested in Japanese star Kodai Senga. Seattle views the Japanese star as an impact pitcher, and they plan to reach out to him. He has a 2.59 career ERA in the NPB. Also on the 8th, Julio Rodriguez was voted as the Baseball Digest AL Rookie of the Year. The team will add relief pitcher Prelander Berroa to the 40-man roster, to protect him from the Rule 5 draft. A handful of other players will be added as well, but they have not been informed yet. Jesse Winker had knee and neck surgeries, and the hope is that he can start swinging a bat in January. Made a comment about J.B. Crawford, saying that our preference is that he plays shortstop because I think he's a good shortstop, and all of the things that I said at the end of the year wrap-up remain true today. We'd like him to be our shortstop for the foreseeable future. They won't offer Mitch Haniger a qualifying offer, but they are engaged in trying to bring him back for next season. Dipoto confirmed that Cal Raleigh underwent a procedure on his broken left thumb, but did not have details on that recovery. Andres Munoz also had foot surgery. On the 9th, he stated that the team plans to have Matt Brash come to spring training stretched out as a starter for depth purposes, but will move him back to the bullpen if the rotation remains healthy and unchanged. Chris Flexen has drawn plenty of trade interest at the trade deadline and continues to be asked about. Seems likely that Flexen could be moved in a package of players to get a position player. One team that's been interested has been Colorado. Marco Gonzalez has also been mentioned in trade discussions as well. Some roster moves were also made that day. Left-handed pitcher Gabe Spire was claimed off of waivers from the KC Royals. Right-handed pitcher Easton McGee was acquired from the Boston Red Sox for cash considerations. Left-handed pitcher Ryan Barucki was cleared waivers and elected free agency. And Casey Sadler cleared waivers and elected free agency as well, after being the Mariners' top reliever statistics-wise in 2021. Continuing over to, I told you there's a lot of stuff to go over. On the 10th, 5 Mariners are eligible for all MLB honors, which is a voted upon accolade. Julio Rodriguez, Eugenio Suarez, Cal Raleigh, Eric Swanson, and Andres Munoz are all eligible to be voted to the all MLB team. That is still available. The Mariners have tweeted out that link. So go and vote for our Mariners. We go to the 10th year, and perhaps some little more exciting news. Julio Rodriguez won the AL Silver Slugger Award. The 21-year-old won the award alongside fellow outfielders Aaron Judge and Mike Trout. Julio ranked third among outfielders in B-WAR, tied for fifth in homers, tied for third in stolen bases, third in slugging percentage, third in OPS. He batted at a 284, with 84 runs, 25 doubles, all this stuff that we already went over. The 21-year-old fielder is the second Mariners rookie to win a Silver Slugger Award, joining Ichiro Suzuki in 2001. Julio is tied as the second youngest Mariners player to win a Silver Slugger Award with Ken Griffey Jr. at 21, but he is older than Alex Rodriguez, who won it at age 20. I don't see Adley Rutschman or Stephen Kwan winning a Silver Slugger Award. Again, this continues to help Julio's chances. On the 13th, the team reportedly has done extensive scouting work on outfielder Masataka Yoshida. The Mariners have done extensive work on the Japanese outfielder and will reportedly be one of his top suitors this winter, which is interesting to hear. Wrapping up team news here over the past week, the Mariners have announced their 2023 spring training schedule. They will play 10 games in Peoria, as we put the entirety of the schedule here. Friday, March 18th at the Padres is a 1:10 start. Saturday, March 19th versus the Dodgers is a 1:10 start and will be televised on Root Sports. Sunday, March 20th will be versus the Angels at 1:10. Tuesday, March 22nd versus the Cubs is 1:10 as well and being televised on Root Sports. Friday, the 25th versus the White Sox at 6:40. Monday, the 28th versus the Rangers at 1:10. And then all of these games, including the one I just stated, are all on Root Sports. The March 29th game versus the Royals at 1:10. March 31st versus the Guardians at 6:40. April 2nd versus the Brewers at 6:40, as well as April 4th versus the Diamondbacks at 1:10. So you can see here the full spring training schedule. If you need to, feel free to pause it and take a look at it. And, I don't want to put out too much right now, but, obviously with our Mariners here, you saw that we had coverage of our ball club all season long, and CSS on Converge might be joining you for spring training. So keep an eye out for that. But that's not for a few months. So we look over to league-related news on the 7th. Some headlines around baseball. Red Sox shortstop Xander Bogaerts and my prime signing amongst the free agent shortstops. And Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom officially opted out of their deals, testing free agency. Angels GM Perry Menasian says that Shohei Ohtani is not going anywhere this offseason and will not be traded, but several GMs around the league don't believe that's true. And the Phillies declined option on second baseman Gene Segura, former Mariner. On the 10th, the Astros, just a few days after celebrating their World Series title, fired both their general manager and their assistant GM James Click, rejected the team's one-year contract offer and will not return. So immediately after that World Series takes place, these roster moves, free agency, and the MLB offseason really kick into gear. And who knows, by the time that we come to you next week, we'll obviously have news about whether or not Julio won Rookie of the Year, but we could have more stuff relating to the team as well.